Let's move on now to the barring of the some other dude did it defense. The state is saying they shouldn't be allowed to point the finger at a third party, other suspects, unless they meet certain requirements under Idaho case law. And they mentioned the Meister case. Are they doing this in part because of this unknown male DNA? I mean, I feel like this is pretty common. I've seen this in other cases where prosecutors say they shouldn't be allowed to point the finger at other people unless they have evidence of it. But does this have something to do with those unknown male DNA profiles that the defense has brought up in court time and time again?
I'm sure that's what it is, because that's the only evidence that they have that somebody else might have been at that house. And to be fair, it really could be an alternative type perpetrator of the crime. But again, it goes back to what I just said moments ago. They already have that discovery. Remember, the defense learned of it through the prosecution. So it should come as no surprise and no shock that they're going to try to use that biological evidence to link this sort of unknown third-party culprit to the homicide. Now, the problem is for the defense, if you really think about it, it's sort of inconsistent. He's saying he was sitting in the lotus position, contemplating his navel, looking at the stars. Okay. How can you have an alibi? Okay. And yet claim that there is a third party culprit? You have to kind of pick your poison, if you will. Otherwise, you're going to have to put on both defenses and it's going to look desperate to the jury. The problem with third party culprit or alternative type perpetrators is that you have to have more evidence than just the means, the motive, and the opportunity for this unknown third party to have committed it. You need something concrete to really link that person to the crime, as opposed to just some evidence of presence of another person's DNA in the abstract. And what they should do, maybe, if they haven't already, is run that specimen through CODIS, the Combined DNA Index, or through investigative genealogy, like they did to Bryan Kohberger, and see if you can find out who that is. If you're not going to do that, then it looks like the state's hiding the ball. Because I don't believe that the defense has the capability of just presenting a specimen to private data banks and asking them to do an IgG run. They can't do it because it's law enforcement activity in nature, and the defense has no standing or contractual right to do it.
Yeah, there's been conflicting answers given about the unknown male DNA. The prosecution said in some court filings over a year ago and in court that there weren't enough points or whatever, it wasn't suitable to upload to CODIS. And then the detective said at a recent hearing, we couldn't pull, the unknown, which turned out to be Kohberger's DNA, they're saying, on the knife sheath. We couldn't pull that out of CODIS and then insert these other ones. So there's been two kind of conflicting accounts of how that went down. But yeah, like IgG, they could do that and figure out who these people are and then go interview them. And then there you go. Exactly. That takes care of that.
Exactly.
This